Hey everybody, hope you're doing well out there. In this video I'm going to show you how to play the San Francisco Bay Blues. There's of course many ways that we could play this song, and I love the version of Jesse Fuller playing this song live in 1968. I think it's so cool. It's definitely worth checking that version out. But I'm going to show you my take on this tune and how one might go about approaching playing it with a little finger picking action. So the first part of this tutorial is going to be showing you the fingerstyle ideas, and then the second half I'm going to show you how I would play some lead guitar solos over the chord changes. So I hope you like this video. I've been enjoying posting content to YouTube more regularly. I'm posting it on Tuesdays and Saturdays right now. So please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and don't forget to ring the bell notification if you'd like to be notified when I post a new video, and give this video a good old thumbs up. And let me know if you like it. So let's jump into it. So the chord changes go from C to an F, and I like to play an F like that. So if we were to play a bar chord F, then we wouldn't really be able to play any melodies up top very easily. It's like the pinky would have to do all the work. But if we play a bar chord like this, using the thumb on the left hand, we can play all kinds of all kinds of melodies up top. So that's the way I like to play an F. You can really play it like that, or you can play it like that. So we go C, F, to a C, and then we go to an F, back to a C. Now we play an F, an F sharp diminished, and this chord is somewhat optional. If the diminished chord, just throws you for, is confusing, just ignore it. But I think it's a nice touch. So we have F sharp, E flat, A, and C. Those are the notes being played here. So I'm playing the low E string and then the fourth, third, and second strings. And then we go from C to A7. To a D7 with an F sharp in the bass, to a G. So we have C, F, C, F, to C, F, F sharp diminished, C, to A7, D7 with an F sharp in the bass, to a G, and we repeat that, C, F, to C, F. Now we go to an E7, F, F sharp diminished, C, to A7, then D7, to a G, to a C. Now it sounds like a lot, but once you've played the chord progression over a few times, it'll sink in, it'll stick. This is a great jamming song, because the same chord progression repeats over and over and over again. And in the second, verse section, I would call it, he goes to a C to an F just a little bit quicker, but that's the only change. Otherwise, it's just this chord progression the whole way through the tune. So let's talk about how we would approach finger picking it. Now, I come from the school of Merle Travis and Chet Atkins style fingerpicking, and this is a great way to get our fingerstyle technique together, because the mechanics of this style are very specific. Now, if anyone out there is enrolled in my complete fingerstyle guitar programs already, you will be familiar with these patterns, but if you're not, go to joerobinson.com/courses and you can dive deeper into this style of playing. Complete fingerstyle guitar. The series is a beginner, intermediate, and an advanced course. But I'm going to show you the patterns now anyway. So we take a C chord here, and we play 5, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4 with the thumb on the right hand. 5, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, and I'm referring to the string numbers. So it's A string, D string, E string, D string. And it takes a while, a good long while to get comfortable with that, but it's really worth sticking with. Because that is the foundation of what we're about to play. So there's that pattern, which is the 5th string root bass pattern, because the root note of the chord is on the 5th string. Okay? Now there's one other pattern. We call it the 6th string root bass pattern, and over that F chord, we would play that. 6, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4. And those are the two patterns the thumb's gonna play. Pretty much. And you might be wondering, Joe, can you give me tab for this lesson? And truthfully, I think, you know, this is a folk song. This is meant to be a jamming song. It kind of just feels wrong to learn a song like this from tab. It's like, you know, this song is meant to be loose. You're meant to just figure out the chords, figure out the progression, figure out the finger picking patterns a little bit, jam with it, come up with your own licks and your own ideas, and have a good time playing it. It's not meant to be, you know, playing this exact thing. So, but I'm going to show you what I'm thinking about when I'm playing the melodies up top and when I'm soloing over the song. So, once you have that bass pattern down, we're going to play that bass pattern over the entire chord progression. So this is a challenge for the thumb, and by the way, you don't necessarily need to use a thumb pick, but a thumb pick does make it sound kind of cool. That's what it sounds like without. And with, just has a little more attack, a little more presence. Okay, so we go C, F, C, F to C, F sharp diminished, and when we play that diminished chord, we're just going 6, 4, 6, 4, because there's no 5th string in this inversion of the chord. And then we go C, A, D, same thing with this D. We can play, you know, the A string as well, but it just sounds a little bit, I don't know, like a jug band or something. So we just go 6, 6, 4, 6, 4, and then G. So anyway, you get the point. You just play that same thumb pattern over the chord progression, and then we're going to add a string grab. So we're going to play just a 2-note string grab. We're going to play the 2nd string and the 3rd string, and we're going to play it with the 1st finger and the middle finger. So over the C, we would play that. And the way that sounds is we're just going to play it on the downbeat. This is not easy, but you can do it. You stick with it. I can't do it and talk at the same time. So that's the first challenge. Next we'll try a 3-note string grab. So we'll try grabbing the top 3 strings of the guitar. Throwing some accents in there. There's really no rules here. We want to have fun and just try and play with a good groove and a good feel. And then we can add a few rolls. Now what I'm doing there is I'm just playing a little finger pick and roll. That's an example of one of the rolls I might play here. So on the right hand, I'm going 5, 3, 4, 2, 6, 3, 4, 2. Okay, and then you can just make up some finger pick and rolls. Now I say that like it's easy and anyone can do it. It really takes a while to get used to playing that thumb pattern. So we can play some finger picking patterns. Do a little walk down there. This would be a great thing to practice with a metronome. Now I like to put the G note on top of that F sharp diminished chord. It's a bit of a stretch to play that chord, but I just like the way that sounds. Now the next step is just to add a few little melodic things up the top. There we go. That's a cool little bend to do on the F chord there. And that's really up to you what kind of licks you want to play and what kind of fills you want to put in there. But that's kind of what I'm thinking, is I'm just playing the chords, holding down that bass groove, and I'm doing some little finger pick and rolls here and there, sounding the chords with some string grabs. That's a cool lick. And throwing a few little licks and lines in there occasionally. So let's play it. There we go. So I know I went through that pretty quick, but I wanted to, just give you a bit of an overview of what I'm thinking about when I'm picking the San Francisco Bay Blues. So now we'll talk about how to play solos over these chord changes. So this is a tricky song to solo over, because if we're playing, just like the major scale, it starts to sound, it just doesn't fit. It sounds too majory. So the major scale would sound like. It just sounds, a little bit cheesy, I think. Now, if we play the minor scale, it sounds like this. That sounds wrong too. So what do we play? We can play the Mixolydian mode. That sounds pretty cool. play the Mixolydian mode in C, and then we go to the F chord, we can play F Mixolydian mode. But even that, to me, sounds a little bit angular and a little bit, you know, like we're trying to play a scale or something. If I play this song. Anyway, so the way I like to think about playing over a chord progression like this is simply what I call play the blues. So play the blues to me can involve a few different scales and a few different sounds. We can play kind of the major pentatonic, which is kind of like the B.B. King sound. The Allman Brothers use that a lot. And if we want a little more flavor, we could also play the Mixolydian mode. And I have a video about the Mixolydian mode, which, you know, check that out if you're interested. But another great scale is the bebop dominant scale, which basically features some chromaticisms, like that, going down from the root note, C. So it's got a natural seventh and a flat seventh. And I love to play the flat third, sliding up to the major third. You know, it's just it sounds like kind of the way Ray Charles played the piano. So that's one of my favorite moves, is to go from the flat third to the major third. And it fits perfectly with this song. And so when I'm thinking play the blues, sometimes there's some bebop dominant ideas in there. Sometimes there's Mixolydian ideas in there. Sometimes there's some major pentatonic ideas in there. And those are kind of some of the main sounds. I also love throwing the flat five in there sometimes, kind of like going for more of a blues scale type thing. So if we were to play the San Francisco Bay Blues, how do we play over those chord changes? Because, you know, you could probably hear the chords moving under the solos I was playing. So what I'm thinking is, play the blues in C, play the blues in F, play the blues in C, play the blues in F, play the blues in C, play the blues in F, throw an F sharp diminished kind of thing in there if you want. Play the blues in C, play the blues in A, play the blues in D, and play the blues in G. So what that sounds like in practice would be something like this. So 1, 2, 3. Whoops. really not thinking about a particular scale or a particular, theoretical thing. I'm just thinking the blues. And, you play blues music and country music and folk music, rhythm and blues. You play those songs and you learn what notes kind of sound funky, what notes sound wrong, and what notes sound really cool. And you kind of form your own little bluesy, interpretation of what play the blues is. That's the way I think about it anyway. And when you're playing over a chord change like that, especially when you go from C down to A, to a D, to a G, that's like a real classic turnaround with a 2, 5, 1 in there. And that's a really important thing to practice. Like Sweet Georgia Brown, a tune like that is a great one to learn for getting used to playing over those chord changes. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking when I'm playing over that chord progression. Sometimes you can throw in there some altered licks as well. But a great exercise for getting used to playing the Mixolydian mode would be to just play straight eighth notes over the entire chord progression using just the Mixolydian scale. So that would sound like this. It's going to sound a little bit mechanical, but it's a great way to get used to playing these scales. This is something I would practice. Anyway, there was a few little bum notes in there, but that's just me off the cuff trying to play straight eighths over the entire chord progression using just the Mixolydian mode. So that's a great thing to practice if you're working on practicing playing solos over a chord progression like that. So anyway, I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. And leave a comment below if you've made it this far through the video that says, Jesse Fuller rocks. I'm not exactly sure of the timeline of how this song came to be, but I know Ramblin' Jack Elliott did a real famous version of it, and I've been really fortunate to meet Ramblin' Jack a few times. He's a wonderful guy. He has a mate in guitar, believe it or not. There you go. But I know Paul McCartney's recorded this song, and Eric Clapton, and a lot of great people. I first heard it on Eric Clapton's Unplugged album, which was a really influential album for me. So hope you enjoyed this video. Take it easy out there, and thanks for watching.